We are now looking at Digital Skills Level 2 Programming Fundamentals Exercise 3. At this point, we will look at the learning objective. It's like LO4, be able to use loops, explaining the concept of iteration, types of loop, infinite loops, controlled count loops, condition controlled loops using for, while, examples of basic programming demonstrating these loops. And this is for the assessment exercise 3. So I've shown you how to get onto Python W3 Schools, and this is something that you will practice and go over. So got a few things that's here. This is Python loops. Python has two primitive loop commands, and that's the while loop and for loop. So read along this and follow the break statement example, the continue statement example, and the else statement example. So you get to try this out. Once you've completed that, move on to Python for loops. Okay, so Python for loops, a for loop is used iterating over sequences. That's either a list, a tuple, a dictionary, a set, or a string. Try out these examples down here, and this is for you to practice. I'm going through break statements and continuing statements with the for, and it has a range function that you can use. And from using the range, you got the else, for loop, nested loop, and pass statement, etc. So just use these two. This should take roughly about 30 minutes for you to practice and just have a look to have an understanding. Once you've done that, we'll look at this statement here. Once you've completed that, this is what they are asking you to do for exercise 3. Now, I actually need you to go through W3 Schools to understand what you're actually writing in. So, you know, even though you've got the answer here, at least you have an understanding of why you're putting them in. This is loops, total, and average. Creating a variable called total. Remember, so we're creating, before we had created a variable called grade. This time we're creating our variable to be called total. This will store the running total of what you have. I want to repeat this section 5 times. Okay, so I've just made it a little bit bigger for you. All right, so I'm going to repeat this 5 times. For x is in the range 0 to 5. So, and then print and enter your age. They'll put the age in, keeps putting it in, and then at the end it's going to display the average. Okay, so I'll take this and I'll put it inside. You can press pause to write it out if you need to, and you don't have to use age. Just say put numbers in if you want to. You can just say add numbers, or you can say grade again if you want to. I've got here this. Press enter age 44. Enter another age 55. Enter another age 77. Enter another age 10. Enter another age 12. So the total is 198, and the average is 39.6. Okay, so that's what you have to do. Remember that you can, you don't have to use the word age. You can use, you know, enter amount of cars, enter amount of buses, enter amount, you know, anything that you want. But this is what they're asking for in exercise 3. Okay, so practice and make sure you take your code and you put it in like you're supposed to do. Like, so you take your code, copy it, and then you place it into your exercise book where it's supposed to be. I've not got mine up, so that's going to be another thing. You can take your snippet tool and create new, and then you can snip your area showing your working code, and you just place it in. Okay, so you can then, remember, you don't just place it in, you hit edit, copy, and then paste it into your area that you need to, showing your proof of your working out. Okay, it's your turn.